We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati.
The Western Conference is more. LeBron James coming to the Western Conference it's.
I never thought in the perpetuity.
You're not ready for this because Frank Caliendo doesn't just do impressions. He hijacks voices, steals entire personalities, and leaves audiences wondering if they just blacked out from laughter.
Do the hokey pokey to turn yourself around. Boom! That's what that's all about, Jay.
Whether he's channeling John Madden in the middle of a touchdown or flipping between Tony Stark and Kermit the Frog without missing a beat, Caliendo turns every mic into a meltdown.
They'll be like, Mr. President. That's right. Folks, young man, fine.
And today, we're counting down the wildest, craziest, most laugh-out-loud Caliendo moments ever recorded, and every single one proves why he's the best to ever do it.
Cheney's on the side of me like, ah, ah. He starts to laugh so hard he looks like the penguin from Batman. He's like, wah, 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 gobble, gobble, wah, wah, wah.
Before we get into the craziest moments, if you've never heard of Frank Caliendo, get ready. He's not just a comedian, he's a walking voice machine. Sports shows, late night TV, stand-up stages, he's been everywhere, doing spot-on impressions of celebrities, athletes, and even presidents. But what makes him different? He doesn't just sound like these people, he becomes them. And the perfect example? That time he switched through 7 different voices in under 30 seconds and nailed every single one.
I mean, you guys, you got Chris Bosh back for a hefty sum, if you will. Dwayne Wade, I believe he's back for a couple years. What do you think, Bill? I'm just worried about the cheerleader.
He started with Robert Downey Jr., then went straight into Dr. Evil, Kermit the Frog, Mark Ruffalo, John C. Reilly, Joe Rogan. It was like watching someone flip through channels on live TV using only their face. He didn't even flinch. 1 second, it's Iron Man talking about tech. The next, it's Kermit panicking, and suddenly Joe Rogan's asking, Jamie, pull that up. You don't even get a second to breathe. It's just one perfect impression after another. This wasn't just a funny moment. It was proof that Frank Caliendo can do more in 30 seconds than most comedians can do in 30 years. And trust me, that was just him warming up.
Let me tell you something, brother. No, try it again. No, I've got this. Don't worry about it. I'm the new Men in Black. Let me tell you something, brother. No, one more time. Okay, no. Let me tell you something, brother. That's it.
Now, if there's one thing Caliendo does better than impressions, it's turning a ridiculous idea into something 10 times funnier than it has any right to be, and nothing proves that, like his take on Chris Hemsworth auditioning to play Hulk Hogan. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine Thor walking into a casting room, trying to nail Hogan's iconic line and falling flat every time. Frank turns that into a scene so awkward and desperate, it becomes one of his funniest bits ever. By the time Hemsworth finally screams the line like his career depends on it, you're not thinking about Marvel or wrestling. You're just watching Frank turn a ridiculous idea into one of the funniest bits he's ever done. And somehow, without CGI, computer-generated imagery, or a script, he gave us a crossover we never knew we needed.
I love it when he explains things that you already know. He'll say things like,
You need to see. Because seeing is important, and if you can't see, then you don't know what you're looking at.
If there's one impression that cemented Frank Caliendo as a legend, it's this one, John Madden. And it's not just because the voice was perfect. It's because Frank somehow captured the entire spirit of Madden. The confusion, the shouting, the way he'd start a sentence, forget where it was going, and then boom, pull it all together like he meant to do it.
There's a fire inspector that says you can only have one guy that can go in that hall of fame. That guy's gonna be Brett Favre.
Frank didn't just mimic Madden's voice, he became the man mid-meltdown. One moment he's trying to explain a football play, the next he's rambling about how he wants to be in a funny place, then yelling, boom, for no reason, and somehow the whole thing still makes sense. It's loud, unpredictable, and completely perfect, just like Madden himself. What makes this moment so special isn't just the accuracy, it's the chaos. Caliendo recreated Madden's world in real time, and the result wasn't just funny. It felt real. Like if you closed your eyes, you'd swear you were watching Sunday football again. Out of all the voices Frank's ever done, this is the one that built his reputation. Because it wasn't just an impression, it was a performance that every football fan instantly recognized. And honestly, nobody's topped it since.
Oh, here we go, Jim. Here we go, Jim. Oh, Jim, this is incredible and amazing and amazingly, incredibly amazing. I can't believe this play. What's going to happen here?
After all the loud chaos of Madden, Frank switches it up with a totally different kind of energy. Tony Romo. And the second he does it, everything changes. Because Romo isn't shouting or stumbling, he's calmly acting like he knows the future and can't wait to explain it in full detail before it even happens.
Jim, he's scrambling around. He's running in circles and nobody can see it because he's only 2 feet tall. Here we go, Jim. Tony! Oh.
In this moment, Frank turns Romo into a guy who's literally time traveling during a football game. He says stuff like, "Jim, I've gone 7 seconds into the future," and then breaks down the play before the ball is even snapped. And what makes it so funny, he sounds so sure of himself, like he's seen the whole game already and he's just here to let the rest of us catch up. Frank nails the voice, the tone, even the excitement Romo has when he knows he's right. But the comedy comes from how he exaggerates Romo's over-explaining, fast-talking, and that classic watch this Jim energy. And somehow make it believable.
Kim Jong-il, I hate him. He's cuckoo for copo cuffs.
Okay.
Now we jump from predicting the future to just straight up losing it on live TV, because when Frank Caliendo does Charles Barkley, it's not calm, it's not polite, and it's definitely not filtered. This impression is loud, it's messy, and it's so spot on you almost forget you're watching a comedy bit. Frank nails Barkley's deep voice, his dramatic pauses, and the way he says something completely off the wall, and then somehow doubles down on it.
Crazy. That's a recipe for disaster, Kenny. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
1 minute, he's trashing a team's defense. That was terrible, just terrible. And the next, he's yelling about how we need to keep an eye on Kim Jong-il because, quote, he's a knucklehead. It's totally random. And yet, somehow, it works.
That tiny little bird on the cereal box is nothing compared to Kim Jong-il. He's a knucklehead. A knucklehead, Kenny. Can you hear me?
What makes this moment so funny isn't just the voice, it's the attitude. Barkley says whatever he wants, however he wants, and Frank captures that exact chaos. He doesn't hold back. He gives us peak Barkley, loud, unfiltered, and totally ridiculous. It's big, it's bold, and it's one of those impressions where you're not just laughing because it's accurate, you're laughing because it's exactly what Barkley would say. And Frank doesn't miss a beat.
My library is a little bit different. We emphasize having fun while learning. That's why I've dog-eared the dirty pages in all the medical books.
Just when you think Frank couldn't get any weirder, he pulls out Bill Walton. And if you've ever heard Walton speak, you know this isn't just an impression. It's a full-on psychedelic experience.
Bill Walton.
Unbelievable. I remember being at Berkeley. Blotches of beard not connecting on my face. I could smell colors. I could feel sounds. Has there ever been a player better than Detlef Schrempf?
Frank captures Walton like no one else. Not just the deep, laid-back voice, but the way he talks like he's floating somewhere between basketball and a Grateful Dead concert. In this bit, Walton isn't breaking down plays, he's remembering Berkeley, talking about smelling colors, feeling sounds, and calling Detlef Schrempf the greatest player of all time, like it's some ancient wisdom from another planet. And somehow, Frank makes all of that nonsense sound completely believable. He's not mocking Walton, he's showing exactly what happens when sports talk drifts into a surreal, poetic mess. This impression is hilarious, because it's so far from normal. It's weird, it's spaced out, and it's delivered with such calm confidence that you start to question whether you're the one missing something.
Be free. I don't care who you are. This is Howard Isley. Does it matter? I don't think so. This is what basketball is all about. Luke, come to the dark side. I am your father.
Only Frank could make a basketball legend sound like a philosopher from outer space and still have everyone in stitches. Now this next one is pure magic, because only Frank Caliendo could take a heartfelt goodbye letter from LeBron James and turn it into a full-blown Morgan Freeman documentary. You already know that voice. Calm, wise, deep enough to make grocery lists sound like life lessons. And when Frank uses it to narrate LeBron's famous "I'm coming home" letter to Cleveland, it's not just funny, It's weirdly moving. You're laughing, but you're also kind of impressed.
Their passion can be overwhelming, but it drives me. I want to give them hope when I can. I want to inspire them when I can.
He delivers it with that perfect Freeman rhythm. I sometimes feel like I'm their son. Their passion can be overwhelming, but it drives me. And somehow, through all the comedy, it works. It feels like LeBron is about to walk out of the tunnel in slow motion with emotional music playing behind him. That's the real strength of Caliendo. He doesn't just do voices for laughs. He knows when to lean into the tone, how to land the rhythm, and exactly when to hit you with a twist. And in this moment, he took one of the most emotional sports announcements ever and made it unforgettable in a completely different way.
Good football player. Good football player. Can't play quarterback. No.
Now, we've seen Frank do a lot of voices, but this one's different. Because with Herm Edwards, he doesn't just mimic one voice, he mimics three, all arguing with each other, except they're somehow agreeing the whole time. It starts with, good football player. Then another voice jumps in, good football player. And then a third one piles on, can't play quarterback. All of them talking over each other, all fired up, and somehow they're all saying the exact same thing.
Can you say that could get us going?
Stop it. Not yet, Coach. That's a little bit late. Tell me when you need me.
Frank turns one man's opinion into a full-on internal argument, and it's hilarious because it feels real. Herm Edwards already talks fast, repeats himself, and delivers every sentence like a final answer. Frank just turns up the volume and lets the chaos unfold. It's sharp, it's fast, and it's one of those impressions that's funny because it's too accurate. Only Frank could make three Herms yelling at once feel like a perfectly normal sports take. Every impressionist has that one voice that changes everything, and for Frank Caliendo, it was George W. Bush. He didn't just sound like him, he captured the smirk, the pauses, the slight confusion followed by total confidence. It was all there.
Hey, Boom. Yeah. See, what do you got for us? Hey, Boom. Still got time.
The way Frank mimicked the expressions of President Trump, it's unbelievable. It had people crying with laughter. And that became his breakout moment. From Mad TV to Frank TV, this impression launched his career and still stands as one of the sharpest presidential impressions ever done. Which Caliendo moment had you laughing the hardest, the chaos or the genius? If this was his funniest ever, imagine what's next. Hit subscribe and don't miss it.